we were trying to go over before regarding the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness piece. So after it says, will can you all see it on your screen at the moment?
Yes.
Yep.
You all see the cryptic message? Both of you?
Yes.
Right. Will G.A. Oyibo issues influence the presidential elections? Should they? Is it possible to invest in a G.A. Oyibo related IPO? Does everyone know what IPO stands for?
No.
Yeah, that's from stocks.
Yes,
IPO.
stocks is correct. It's what's called an international public offering.
All right.
That's them understanding the ability of selling and using GAGUT to generate capital.
Okay.
Is there a temptation there? Is confluence of Thomas Hobbes and continental philosophy a frontier of scientific research topic? Could mu-law algorithm be a leading indicator? Would anyone care? Is G.A. Oyibo a topic worth exploring in the context of theory atomists? Is the methodology for assessing G.A. Oyibo valid? What about funding G.A. Oyibo? Was any support given? That attests to the fact that they're inquiring about, has anyone funded the the GAGUT discovery, and to find out to the extent to what support has been given. Is there a thread of justification for G.A. Oyibo in a synchronous operation synthesis? Did scientific data published for G.A. Oyibo indicate a role for trimline telephone? Is that an accepted interpretation? Would the German literature theory withstand peer review? That is a reference to Göttingen, actually a year before, in 2004, when the Göttingen Gauss year celebration took place in 2005. Would instrument calibration reveal a different outcome for G.A. Oyibo? What published calculations? How much of G.A. Oyibo is implied by Ampere? Can theology contribute to identifying appropriate strategies? Would massive G.A. Oyibo related phenomena cause a global Earth system change? That's basically, in essence, what we've been trying to get you all to understand tonight, is how the world has changed due to GAGUT. And they have asked this question when they said, would massive G.A. Oyibo related phenomena cause a global Earth system change? Would combining it with propagation mode cause any problem? What information can be inferred from G.A. Oyibo about other processes? Does a science of G.A. Oyibo matter? To whom? Is there some aspect of G.A. Oyibo which will impact our biological destiny? This is relating to the GAGUT life-saving part of the GAGUT briefing. And it's further continued by the next line, which says, will G.A. Oyibo contribute to understanding how the brain works? Does G.A. Oyibo or T. Carrier shed any light on answering if we can live forever, like the sequoia tree, living thousands of years? That last part, does G.A. Oyibo, T. Carrier shed any light on answering if we can live forever? And then, does G.A. Oyibo help in explaining why we sleep? Grand unified theorem, discovery of the theory of everything, which they meant theorem of everything, but, and the fundamental building block of quantum theory. Theory by Gabriel Oyibo, Professor Oyibo, A valuable addition to your personal collection. Definitely worth considering right now. And they have the alphabet, inch technology, telephone numbers, and so forth, and email address. So this is what we call the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness cryptic message, which illustrates how much GAGUT has impacted the world, and in particular, America. The other thing I wanted to show very quickly is the price of the books. For example, I have a picture here of a snapshot that was taken of the pictures of the price of the books. Sorry. I'm getting it up in just 1 second. Just bear with me a second. I'm getting the information up. Okay, can everyone see the page that's up in front of them right now?
Yes.
Yep.
What do you see?
Expensive amount.
Well, can you read what you see? What do you see?
Okay, so I see
Highlight.
1,872. 21.
Okay. Can you say that a little louder? It's hard to hear you.
1,872.
Yeah, but what do you see first before you go into any of the prices?
Highlight of the grand unified theorem.
Formulation of the unified field theory, or the theory of everything.
Yes.
This is a book that was published on GAGUT, and what you're seeing here is a listing on Amazon.com. Can you see that?
Yeah.
What is the price that you see at the very bottom?
10,000.
Can you say that louder?
Like
10,000.
estimated 10,000.
Yes.
9,900.
That's the current price of a GAGUT book that is used on Amazon.com. $10,000. That tells you the ability of understanding GAGUT. And the ability to understand what GAGUT is about means you can sell GAGUT and build the future off of it. And you make income and salary off of selling the GAGUT books. It also tells you how Jim Crow understands the value of those GAGUT books in the level that they can sell to $10,000 and not worry about getting people to buy it because they understand the value of what's inside those GAGUT books. Like the professor was saying, the problems are coming about in terms of Jim Crow has already surrendered due to the GAGUT discovery. The problem is black people are not aware of who they are in light of GAGUT, which is leading Jim Crow into believing they can still continue to treat black people as they did prior to the GAGUT discovery. That's what God has ordered us to deal with tonight. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I didn't hear you.
Yes.
You understand that?
Yep.
Yes.
Praise God.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does everyone now see what's on the screen in terms of the Riemann hypothesis piece?
Yep.
Yes. But it's switching between Abdi Emin and your.
You're gonna have to speak up a little louder. I can't hear you.
It's jumping up for me here. I can't see straight. It's jumping all the time, up and down, up and down.
I still can't hear what you're saying, sir.
I said it's not steady for me. It's coming up and down for me. You
Is
go
that
up
doing
and
that
up
now?
and down.
Is
Yes.
it going up and down now? What are you saying is going up and down?
Your screen, I can't see. It's switching between you and Adimene.
How can that be? It's not. There's no movement. What about now? Do you see the screen solid now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
All right.
No.
That's the important part, that you're looking at the screen. Is it moving? Any jumping around or anything like that?
Yeah, it's switching between you two, you and my
It
brother.
only moves when you start talking to him.
Is it switching now?
Yeah, it's still on.
No, I know, but it switches when you start talking to him. From your end.
Did anyone have any questions regarding the prices of the books on Amazon?
No.
And like we said before, we're ready to take any orders of any books that you're ready to buy at this moment.
Yeah, I think I
You
would.
have to speak up, sir. I can't hear you. Yes, for me, I will wait end of this month, around 15th of this coming month to purchase one.
What book would you be
Because
planning to purchase on the 15th?
the first, which is 1,872.21. That's almost like
What title of the
well,
book? What title book is that? You have to tell me what book and the title that you're planning on getting.
the title of the book.
The most important thing right now is for you to get the Riemann hypothesis book along. You're getting a journal for this brief.
Riemann have
You also need to get a Riemann hypothesis book in terms of the GAGUT recent publication on the G2j solution to the Riemann hypothesis.
Mm-hmm. So because I didn't write any title of the book, I was just looking on the prices, you know.
I understand. What I'm telling you is you would need to get a copy of the GAGUT book on the Riemann hypothesis. Mr.
Okay.
Uzar had actually purchased 4 of those books. Isn't that correct,
Okay.
Mr. Uzogar?
That's right.
You need to
Okay.
get your copies, Mr. Copies, as I said, plural. You need to get your copies, Mr.
Okay.
Many.
Okay.
Are you ready to do that?
That's what I'm saying. Mid of 15th, when the salary come in, I would like to purchase one, because right now, if I don't have 12,000 in my account.
Very
In
well,
my
then we'll
account.
do that then, sir.
Mm.
The book cost is part of the IPO that you just saw in the cryptic message, and they're both from Amazon. Notice that. The cryptic message and the advertisement of the GAGUT books at the price of $10,000 are both coming from Amazon. So you have to understand that they have understood that the IPO factor that was discussed in the actual message of the cryptic message in terms of can GAGUT be or Oyibo be used in terms of an IPO shows you the nature of how GAGUT is the business that you should be dealing with at this moment. Anything that you're doing right now should be dedicated towards being GAGUTical and selling the GAGUT books and purchasing the GAGUT books. IPO, as you broke down to you, is an international public offering. That's basically dealing with stocks, as Mr. Uzogar stated. That's what's important to understand. It's a matter of understanding that God has blessed you now with a GAGUTical nature through GAGUT, and now you can use the blessing that God has blessed us with in terms of being able to resolve any of the problems that we face as a people, whether it's poverty, whether it's about generating capital, whether it's about livelihood or maintaining your life, or even being able to feed yourself and clothe yourself and keep yourself in a shelter. All that is embedded inside of GAGUT. You understand?
Yes.
Just 1 second.
Yep.
Just 1 second.
Go watch the yes. No problem. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Mhm. So what else?
Is everyone there? Is everyone
Yes.
here? In other words,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is the Riemann hypothesis part of the briefing, so please pay attention because it's very critical for you to understand this aspect of how the Riemann hypothesis, being declared by Professor Hilbert from Göttingen University, was declared as the most difficult unsolved mathematics problem in the year 1900. GAGUT solved this problem back in 1990, and we are going to go over that proof with you today. Are you both ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you all have any snacks or anything like that? Or you've been fasting all through the presentation?
No, I ate.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay. So God Almighty's grand unified theorem, GAGUT. Gij, comma j equal to 0 has revealed proven solution to the Riemann hypothesis, a clear mathematics millennium problem. This is supposed to be the hardest mathematics problem, but there are a lot of other dynamics that come along with it that which are not very righteous also. Which is the dynamics of Jim Crow's propaganda. One of the problems in the African world is that our culture does not overemphasize propaganda, because people who are righteous don't really count very much on propaganda. And in many ways, propaganda is like a saying that I think is known in across humanity, which is the dynamics of an empty container makes the most noise, alluding to the dynamics of people. When you are blessed, you don't use too much propaganda, because the blessing itself is supposed to be able to help you, just like part of the propaganda, for example, with the car sales people, talk about certain cars that sell themselves. They don't need any advertisement because they're so good. There's some element of truth in that. And but it can be overdone, because if you're all substance and nobody knows about you, and knowing about you requires propaganda. Sometimes it could be very hurtful. So, the propaganda here is very, very serious issue. Africans don't, it's bad enough we don't have, because we're not productive, which is what I was trying to get across in terms of the whole idea of a nation. A nation is a marriage between universities and industries. In the process, there is productivity. And the product of the marriage, or the children of the marriage, will benefit from the productivity. As a matter of fact, the productivity becomes their survival. So in this we say here at ground zero that productivity is critical to survival of every species. So, because we're not productive as a result of our encounter with Europeans or non-blacks who stopped our productivity through the so-called education system and other ways, that is a very, very serious problem. That coupled with the dynamics of the propaganda in terms of they take over the radio stations. Sometimes they don't even sell you a radio station because they don't they've stopped your productivity, you don't think about going even into that kind of business. So you are left at a very dangerous point, which is you have to depend on them to remind you what you should be doing. You have to depend on them. See, for example, and this is extremely painful. You go on the internet, there's nothing owned by Black people in there. Emeagwali is supposed to be Black man, Emeagwali, who's supposed to be a force in that particular technology field to be reckoned with. It's relegated into a so-called small business. That's a major problem. And our people have not done enough to change that situation either. You know, it is extremely sophisticated on the part of Jim Crow, because Jim Crow manipulates us. It turns our people against their heroes, and sometimes it leads into our people being hired to, commit very horrible, destructive things to our heroes and so on. So Emeagwali is being criticized and attacked by our own people. You know, a lot of shameful things written about him, and at some point what happens is Jim Crow tried to force criminalize him really, and then tried to smear him, smear me with, dragging me, into that. All that is done by propaganda. If Emeagwali has a cooperation from our people, he could be our voice in that kind of realm. But our people have been confused, and instead of supporting him, and for that matter, any other Black, positive role model are vilified and actually destroyed using our people by Jim Crow. So we have to watch out for stuff like that. But because we don't have a Black representation on the internet, if you go on Yahoo right now, the page that you go to has summaries of the so-called news. They decide what you're going to be seeing. That's an extraordinary, horrible disadvantage on our part. So, because what happens is, and I've seen so many nonsensical news items that, but as you know, you stay there for a few seconds, you'll be forced to turn on some page. And it's going to squander your time, and you could spend a couple of days in there and not see anything that is good about Black people. So there are only two ways practically that they can do business with us in that area. One is they ignore you, ignore us completely. Second, if they cover us, they formulate bad news, treacherous news, fraudulent news to make us look bad. So because we have no control in that business. So that's the kind of thing that we have to keep in mind. So therefore, Jim Crow then controls our mind in terms of what is important, what should be news item, and they don't allow people to set up their system, even when they have the determination and the money. They have a very vicious set of laws that will make sure black people don't get in. So, but like I said, anyone needs a proper some element of propaganda machines. Sometimes it's called an advertisement. So that is hurting us a great deal. In Africa, very few governments understand the real role of propaganda machines. And so other people come and take advantage of us. In Africa right now, the foreigners control the propaganda system, which is why our people don't see anything with regards to GAGUT. That's a very strategic disadvantage that is extremely, can hurt a great deal, and he's been hurting us. So, but anyway, Riemann hypothesis was selected as one of the problems to be resolved by Professor David Hilbert, and that he posted it in 1900. But other problems had been added to that by less known mathematician, and the bottom of it all is the clay that really doesn't have any mathematician at all. And the ones that are supposed to be associated with are strictly political machines. That is causing us a lot of problems. But it involves in what is called, Riemann hypothesis involves in what is called a series. There are not too many situations where mathematicians deal with the finding of the zeros of a series. That's fairly complicated, especially an infinite series. So, but that is the fundamental problem here, is finding the zeros of a complex series function. And it's so complicated and difficult that John, okay, people have to resort to guesswork, and so when a problem is very difficult and there are no hints as to how to methodology for actually even getting started. So, and if you realize it's a very important topic, you kind of force into a corner. And that's what the kind of dynamics of this problem is. A series given in 10.1 is the series that is, the zero of which is, is required. You got to find the zeros. Means what value of the unknowns can make the function zero. And so that is a problem that, has been defined to be very difficult and led to the Riemann hypothesis. So the equation 10.1 is a series, and I know that Usogara doesn't, Usogara has seen this before.
Yep, I saw in the book.
Okay, and Mr. Papa, mine has, I don't believe, unless you saw it in a broadcast, a previous broadcast. Have you seen it before?
This one here?
Yeah, have you seen this presentation? Well, presentation on the Riemann hypothesis before from our broadcast?
Yes, but not the whole. I saw it on Philip Matthews show, but not the whole.
So this is John. I'm gonna need your
Professor. One second. In 1 hour time.
Yes.
I would be going to work 7 o'clock our time here.
Okay. Well, so, maybe yeah. In that case, I think we.
In 1 hour time, that's no problem. We can be until 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, but what does time say now?
The time is 6 o'clock here.
Well, but
so I have 1 hour, and then I should go and prepare.
Yeah, but and you haven't had any sleep at all, right?
No. That's no problem.
Yeah. Well. All right. So that is the. Are you familiar with series in mathematics?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, 1 hour, and plus you need to wash up and all that. Look,
yeah, just 1 hour is fine.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that I think we better let you come back, but you have some kind of opportunity to try to share what you've gotten so far with our people over there.
And gather them for the next briefing,
yes,
so that they come in with you as a group.
You understand?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Because this is going to require, plus you need some little,
Yes.
Yeah. And part of the reason was so much difficulties we had today in terms of, they were throwing us out out of the broadcast, which is understandable, So I think that you think that's a good idea, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do that because you have enough to digest. And like I said, if you could reach our people in the continent and those in Europe and all that, and then stay connected with us here and Usogara.
Yes, same. I'm gonna prepare for on Sunday. I'm gonna give you a call and let you know where you want to do the interview and like which platform. And I'm gonna.
What happened? Why didn't he show up to the briefing that you said he was going to be at today?
I had trouble trying to install the Hangout. So I said, don't worry about it. I'll take.
No, wait. I didn't hear your answer. I thought you said he was going to come to where you were.
No, I know. When I was on the phone with him, he was there trying to come in on my name, but he had trouble trying to install the Hangouts.
Okay, so let's take a pause here and then let's organize, possibly during the next briefing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see how fast the time dilated. So we'll praise God though, and it's wonderful to you know, be in a position where we could share this with you all, and I hope that you've been touched by God in some. Okay, so let's plan. Let's work together. You have John Glover's contact and so on.
Can you confirm though that you got the email, the LLPOH cryptic message that I sent?
I got it. Yeah.
Did you both get it?
I got it.
Okay.
I got see.
Okay. So you got to stay in contact. You know, when phone doesn't go through or email doesn't go, just, you know, make sure that you now understand that you know, our communications are being watched, to say the least. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if one system doesn't work, another. Okay, but you know, it's important to understand because we want to go over. This is extremely important. As a matter of fact, the journal contains this, and you need some kind of explanation before you start reading the book. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys be godly, focused, and vigilant. Okay, and stay contacted with the ground zero. Do you understand?
Yep.
Yes.
For Sunday, so that's good.
And Papa, Amanda,
Yes.
you know, see how, you know, if you could make contact with the folks that you were telling us back home, because that has an urgency. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what can happen there, because you have enough in your hands now to really get certain things started with them. Okay?
Definitely.
And keep us updated. You understand?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so you all be godly, focused, and vigilant. God is a
Godly,
great
folks,
test.
and vigilant. Oh.
Same. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you both.
Yeah.